Welcome back to another solo run on the RetroBrown channel. Today we are closing out the Nido lines, both of them, with the final one of Nidoqueen. The final evolution of the Nidoran female line, and you know what? Considering Nidoking was a very strong SS tier Pokemon last time, I really want to make this an SS tier Pokemon as well. It's a poison ground type with a base stat total of 505, but its stats differ compared to Nidoking. Reason with that, it's going to be because it's got better defense than it does attack. Our rival for today, as you saw there, thank you for subscribing, welcome to the channel. We are going to progress on with this and see how we do with Nidoqueen, which starts off with my favourite move, of course, which is Body Slam, and starting off with this move in itself is absolutely phenomenal. So let's see how we do here with it. It's on the final one here, and we'll go here. Our rival for today is Teachy, thank you for subscribing. And we also progress on with this run. Nidoqueen starts off with Body Slam, and you know what? That's all we need. We got Body Slam, we got Tail Whip. I think we might be able to do Brock at minimum battles, so let's see how we do with that, and we'll progress on to Brock very, very quickly. Best thing about the Nido lines, of course, is the fact it's not their level up moveset that really hits hard. It's their TM moveset, which is just phenomenal. Look at that. We've got Water type moves, we've got Ice type moves, we've got Fighting type moves, we've got Electric type moves. We get ground stab moves, and we even get rock slide if we really need it. This Pokemon, in terms of its TM moveset, is just stacked really, really well. It's not going to help though the fact we only have 75 special, which is our lowest base stat, so we may have to rely on our physical attacks more than our special type attacks. But we need them for variety, and 75 is nothing to scoff at. It's actually a pretty good base stat total to have, and pretty good stats all across the board. 76 speed though, probably not going to be as too good, but we are going to go and try and beat Brock at minimum battles. So we've beaten the rival at the very start, progress through Viridian Forest very, very quickly and go against the mandatory bug catcher here with his level 9 Weedle. It's not going to stand up to Body Slams because Poison Sting resisted against us. We take a win at level 7 and progress on to Brock. Now this should be, depending on how we work it and how the tail whips go, we should do alright. Brock sends out his Geodude, which is kind of annoying because it does have Defense Curl, meaning our Tail Whips do nothing, and Tackle does decent damage against us. Body Slam, not doing as much as I was hoping it would do, but we are level 7, but we do take a pretty quick loss to that Geodude. So we go and level up a little bit. We can go against the Light Years trainer in the gym, gets us up to level 10, and from here we got more bulk to work with. We managed to hit Body Slams pretty comfortably and get some paralysis, meaning he wastes a turn using full heals, and progress on to the Onix pretty quickly. From here though, he is going to go for Bide, which means we can set up our Tail Whips, which is good because we want his defense to be as low as possible when we start using our Body Slams. He's going to do 4 hits to take out the Onix with Body Slam with -6 defense, so you know what, we haven't lost all too much time here. We've got through pretty quickly, and we've picked up a good move in Bide, which might be useful for us against Misty. But we need to get there first, meaning we have to go against all the trainers on this route first and then progress up to Mount Moon with the Super Nerd. We finished Mount Moon around about level 16, 17 here, just because of all the mandatory fights we had to go against. But Body Slam is just carrying this Pokemon through this early game. But we're not going to do too well against Misty with our sub-ground type. It's super effective against us, but you know what, we'll see how we do. Misty, of course, starts off with a Staryu, and because we are a ground type, her AI says only use water type moves. What we are hoping for is paralysis and for her to use X defense. That way, we can actually get enough chances to deal damage out. It's going to be about a free hit on the Starmie, so we need to try and get through the Staryu without taking any damage. I mean, we can take at least 2 water guns, but Body Slam, yes, finally we get a good win. So thankfully, she went for X defend, we got paralysis, and that gave us enough chance to use 3 Body Slams to get the win. Pick up TM for Bubble Beam, which will be useful as well. And from there we progress down to Vermilion City. Now these rivals just out of Vermilion City are kind of just annoying. They're mandatory, and there's 5 Pokemon between them. If you can take them all out in 1 hit each, that's not too much of a problem, not too much time lost. But the Raticate also does have Hyper Fang, which can be problematic sometimes. But we managed to get through with a couple Body Slams and progress on to the SSN, where we can go against Teachy again. Let's see how we do. Starts off with Pidgeotto, and we actually have Bide on our moveset here, but we aren't really using it, to be fair. After Misty, Bite kind of loses its use, especially for a Pokemon like this. But the big threat, of course, is now Kadabra. Because Special is our lowest base stat, Fusions do massive damage on us, and we need to get through that Kadabra without taking much damage whatsoever. At level 24, we do outspeed, and we can outspeed the Charmeleon getting a one-shot in. So we are a little bit higher level, we are at the level cap for this next gym. But with Body Slam in our moveset and having that sub-ground type, we should be fine. This time I also managed to find the switches a lot quicker than the Venusaur run, so I'm quite happy with that. Surge is up and he starts off with his Voltorb. Now he does have Sonic Boom, which would take us out in 4 hits, but he doesn't go for it in this run. Body Slam will one-shot the Pikachu, which seems very systematic, and it just seems to be a bit of a trend every single time I go against Surge now. We managed to beat Surge very quickly first time and get the Thunderbolt TM, which will be incredibly useful considering there are trainers with Gyarados coming up. Next up are the Pokemaniacs in Rock Tunnel, which become a problem. Like, we got on 3 HP against this trainer here after taking so many super effective hits, and it's just, yeah, it was very annoying. Bubble Beam is perfect move to be used against the Exploding Hike, not even giving him a chance to get a hit in. And we get through Rock Tunnel, apart from the Pokemaniacs, quite comfortably, bringing us into Lavender Tower with the next rival fight. Now this rival, not really too much of a problem. Again, the Kadabra is going to be a bit of a threat, but he also does have a hit and execute, which will put Hypnosis on us. We will take only chip damage from Barrage, but it's not too much of a problem to deal with. We've got a decent amount of HP to work with. But then the Gyarados comes out with Hydro Pump. Yes, it's got Hydro Pump at this point in the game, but even with that, thankfully that Charmeleon went for Rage, giving us a chance to get enough Body Slams in and a first time win. So we're doing pretty well so far. We have taken a loss against Misty, but from here we can progress on to the next gym leader, which is Erica. And Erica is not going to be too much of a problem. We have finally used our TMs and we've got a stacked moveset to work with. So Nidoqueen will go into this using Ice Beam, which is super effective against her team, but we do get put to sleep by the Victory Bell, and Razor Leaf does massive damage with critical hits. So we need to make sure we don't get put to sleep. This time, Sleep Powder misses, and the fight is pretty much ours. Ice Beam is just a great move in Gen 1. Absolutely fantastic move in Gen 1. Super effective against so many things, and from there we get the 4th badge pretty comfortably. Bringing us on to the Rocket side quest, which of course means we need to go against Giovanni. Now with Ice Beam on our moveset, this will not be a problem whatsoever. But before that, we're going to go and pick up a few items. We're going to go and pick up the 2 PP ups that are in Celadon City. One at the tree there, and the other just as you go through into the Rocket Corner in the tree down below. From here, Body Slam will just sweep through most of the Pokemon. It's such a great move to start off with. And we open the switch, bringing us into it. Here's the other PP up, and then we can progress on to Giovanni. Giovanni is not going to be a problem whatsoever. We're not even going to pick up the double edge TM this time round. And from here, Ice Beam, Bubble Beams will sweep through his entire team. We're level 34 going into this, meaning we're probably going to go for Silph Co straight away after we've beaten Lavender Tower. Just because by the time we've beaten Lavender Tower, we'll be around about level 36, 30, 37. And that's a pretty good level to go against Silph Co with a solo Pokemon. Pretty much, it's around about the same level as the rival's team in there. But that rival is very problematic with his movesets. And especially that Alakazam. If we're around about that Alakazam's level, it's probably going to outspeed us at this point. And I don't use vitamins on these runs to give myself an edge. I try and do this with the Pokemon's own might. You might find that weird as a bit of a personal moveset. It's not a mandatory moveset rule set to be using. But I just prefer that. I prefer seeing these Pokemon do it as bare as they can without any of those vitamins doing that. We can also sell that Carbos, to be fair, but we also pick up the TM for Earthquake. Perfect stab move for us, and this will really help us out in the coming fights. Nidoqueen, of course, going to use Ice Beam against the Pidgeot, and Ice Beam against the Executor. We managed to evade Leech Seed, bring this into the Gyarados, where 4 times effective Thunderbolt will take it down. From full HP going into the Alakazam, and Earthquake as a one-shot, bringing us into Charizard. Now, as long as we can get 2 Thunderbolts in, we take a win first time. Level 38, you know what? Pretty good. And we're steaming through this really, really quickly, which is why this video is going so quick. Giovanni is out next, and of course, With Earthquake on our moveset, none of his Pokemon really going to stand up to us all too much. Rhyhorn will go down to an Ice Beam pretty comfortably, and last up Nidoqueen v Nidoqueen, we're the better Nidoqueen with 2 Ice Beams. Level 40, we managed to beat Silph Co and we progress on to the next gym leader, which, since we're in Saffron, we might as well go for Sabrina. Because it's quicker to go to Sabrina and then try to go to Koga, Blaine, and then Giovanni for the final fight. While you're in Saffron, might as well give it a go. And this is the quickest way through a gym. Sabrina is going to start off with Kadabra, and as long as we outspeed, which we don't, this is a bad situation to be in already. 9 HP, and we need to take out 2 more Pokemon. So Psybeam takes us out on Venomoth, and we need to try this again. Do we need to use some rare candies here? Let's try this again. Psybeam this time does less damage than Psychic, meaning we've got more HP to work with when it comes to Venomoth. We tank a Leech Life, and 2 Earthquakes will take it down, but we get paralysed. So thankfully we get a critical hit and they used Reflect, otherwise we would have lost that straight away. So second time win against Sabrina, not too shabby whatsoever. That means now we can progress on to Fuchsia City, and of course Koga, the gym leader there. Also, it's kind of weird that Nidoqueen as a ground type can learn Surf. It's the same as Rhydon. I don't understand why Rhydon learns Surf. I don't understand why Nidolines also learn Surf as well. But it's not a move that we're going to be using, we just need to get over to Cinnabar. And of course, with Earthquake on our moveset, Koga should not be a problem whatsoever. He's going to... I've said this on many videos. The trainers in Koga's gym are much more difficult than he actually is. More for the fact they're not even... like, this goes back into a conversation I was having recently with... oh god, who was I having the conversation with? But basically, I feel like the trainers in this gym should have been in Sabrina's gym, because they're all psychic types. None of them are poison types. Like, it's weird. Anyway, let's see how we do against Koga, and this should be an incredibly easy fight for us. First up, he starts off with Coffin. Now Nidoqueen comes out and uses Earthquake. It's going to be an easy fight for us, this one, with Earthquake. Earthquake's the most powerful ground type move in all of Gen 1. And with stab damage, yeah, we're sweeping through this incredibly easily. At the level cap, his Weezing does manage to tank 1 Earthquake, which means he gets a self-destruct in. But since we're on full HP, easy fight. That means we can progress into the Safari Zone, go and pick up the TM, well, the HM for Surf. And I haven't decided yet as well whether it's quicker to go around the entire outside or go for cutting through those trees. This time I decided to go cutting through those trees, but this is the quickest route through Safari Zone. Now, as long as you don't hit any random Pokemon, which I didn't in this run, because, well, for one, depending on the Pokemon, I also use a no wild Pokemon Game Shark, because it just increases your thingy time by having that. Anyway, pick up the Gold Teeth because we want the HM for Strength, pick up the HM for Surf, and then we can progress over to Cinnabar Island because that's the next gym leader, and we should have a decent matchup against him with us having that ground type and Earthquake on our moveset. I could have went and taught Rock Slide, but I was quite enjoying the moveset we had with the Bolt Beam combo, the Earthquake and Body Slam combo. It's a really solid moveset, and probably the best moveset you can have in Gen 1 for a solo run, really. In the Pokemon Mansion, you can actually get through this part of the game without even taking one man, like, you don't even need to go against one trainer to get through the Pokemon Mansion. We picked up the TM as well for Blizzard. We can also pick up the rare candies, because there's a rare candy over here, which I only learnt about recently, actually, which I find hilarious. Anyway, let's progress into Cinnabar's gym, and I'm going to actually show you again which answers to the quiz you do. First answer is true, the second, third and fourth, I got it wrong there, so I had to go against this Ponyta. Second, third and fourth are all false, the fifth is true, and the sixth with Tombstone is false. Tombstone is not a move, but I think in Gen 10 of Pokemon they should actually make Tombstone a move. Brings us into Blaine, and with us having Earthquake on our moveset, this should be quite an easy fight for us. We've got rid of Ice Beam for Blizzard because it's a more powerful move. Yes, it has less accuracy, less PP, but it's a great move to have. And we might need it in the upcoming fights. Blaine goes down incredibly quickly because of Earthquake, and from here, we progress on to the final gym, which is Giovanni, the ground-type trainer. Nidoqueen is stomping through this, but we've had a few little mishaps where we have lost time. We're cutting it close, but we're still on track. Let's see how we do in this gym. Got to go against the 2 mandatory trainers, of course, and I realised that I really shouldn't have used that Blizzard because we need to keep all 5 Blizzard PP for Giovanni. This guy here, he's not really too much of a problem whatsoever, so we start to use Body Slams, and he takes down his first Machoke. Next up is Machop, which goes down to 2 Body Slams, and then Earthquake here takes out the final one. I should have really just been using Earthquake, and it's those little mistakes I was doing which makes us lose time. Giovanni here is going to start off with his Rhyhorn, which means we're going to go for Blizzard. One-shot KO, bring this into Dugtrio. Dugtrio outspeeds us, which is bad, and one-shots us with Dig. That's a bad situation. Let's try this again. I didn't think we'd lose to Giovanni. Earthquake, very powerful move. We managed to tank a Dig there, bringing us into the Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen v Nidoqueen, we come out on top, and we also beat our husband, Nidoking. We're on 30 HP going into the Rhyhorn, and Blizzard is not a one-shot. This is why the 75 base special is not as good. But it's still decent. We've got a decent spread of moves. Decent base stat spread. And with that if gym badge, we can progress on to the Pokemon League. Before that though, we have another fight with Teachy, and to the west of Viridian, we'll find out who's the better trainer. Starting off is Pidgeot. And we're going to go straight for Blizzard, which is a one-shot. Rhyhorn is next, and again, another one-shot with Blizzard. Executor's out, and we have a third Blizzard KO. That brings us into Gyarados, where Thunderbolt takes it down, and then we switch into Alakazam, which takes us to 7 HP. And wow, thankfully, Charizard used Leer, which induced the badge boost glitch out of my control, giving us enough speed to outspeed the Charizard and get 2 Thunderbolts in. But that's the first time win against him there, and sometimes I never win that fight first time. Very hit and miss sometimes because he's got a powerful team and the level cap is like caught up to you. You're around about level 50 when you get to this point in the game naturally. But that brings us to the Pokemon League, and of course Lorelei. Now she's got a lot of water types on her team, and we are a ground type Pokemon, so we are going to take a lot of damage from ice and water type moves, so we need to try and take them down very, very quickly. But at level 51, Clamp is just too much for us to handle. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to level up a little bit. Hopefully at level 56, we will still keep under the level 60 level cap for the SS tier, but we'll soon find out. Slowbro goes down to 1 Thunderbolt, and Jinx, which is we outsped it there, which is good, bringing us into Lapras. We need the Paralysis, because Hydro Pump will do massive damage on us. If Paralysis works in our favour, at level 56 we get the win. Bringing us into Bruno. Now this should be an incredibly easy fight for us. We've got Blizzard, we've got Earthquake. We shouldn't have anything to worry about here, so we might best to start thinking about the next fight, which is Agatha. Now with Agatha's typing with Ghost and Poison, thankfully those Ghost types have got Poison subtype. Otherwise, we'd struggle in that fight. But with that in mind, Earthquake's a perfect move to take down her entire team apart from the Golbat. Let's see how we do. Now, big elephant in the room, we don't want to be put to sleep. We need to, well, we don't want to be confused either, but we need to be able to hit harder than her and hit faster, which doesn't happen on all of the Pokemon because the Ghost type is very fast in this generation. Earthquakes deal one-shot damage across the board, and annoyingly right at the end we do get put to sleep, but we wake up straight away with an Earthquake for the win. Brings us on to the former champion Lance and his team of dragons. So the major thing about this one, there's only 2 threats on his team, the Gyarados and the Aerodactyl. Gyarados probably more so because of our ground typing and Hydro Pump. Wow, that did a lot of damage. This time we get High Roll on Thunderbolt with a crit, but we're level 59 and we're only just at the champion. We might be leveling up in the next fight, which isn't great. But yeah, going in as a poison type against Lance is great because a lot of his Pokemon have got Psychic type moves, but the Psychic type moves that do not hit. Let's see how we do against the champion. First up is the Pidgeot, and Teachy, the champion, cannot outspeed our Nidoqueen. Brings us into Alakazam, who does a big psychic, and that's a one-shot. Not a good position. So let's try this again. We know Blizzard is nearly a one-shot on the Pidgeot. All it's going to do is go for agility against us, but Alakazam, we were hoping for that Psybeam. Because the Psybeam does a lot less damage than Psychic. And from there, we sweep the next couple of Pokemon with Blizzard. Executor's got a lot tankier since the last fight, and it's getting us down to very low HP here. This is not looking good. We're on 8 HP, goes for a full restore, and then takes us out of Barrage. That's cheesy. That's just like really putting a middle finger up to us there, because he actually had the audacity to restore his HP and then take us out when we're on a sliver of our own, and we can't use items in fights. So yeah, not very... That's very rude, Teachy. Either way, brings us to the next Pokemon, and Rhydon starts hitting us quite a lot, and I was misclicking here. Like, I should not have been using Thunderbolt, and I was wondering why Blizzard wasn't hitting. Then I realised that I really should have been using Blizzard. But in the meantime, it inadvertently also gave us the badge boost glitch, which meant all of our attacks and our speed were much better. Fire Spin missed there, and my 4-power with Rhydon actually gave us the win by accidentally inciting the badge boost glitch. Nidoqueen becomes the champion, and I'm hoping we're still under 3 hours. Level 61, actually no, the level's not good enough. 2 hours 43, that's an incredible time, but that level, we leveled up. If we'd not leveled up to level 61, I can't do it. This has to go into the S tier. Even with that time, this Pokemon has to go into the S tier instead of the SS tier. I'm really annoyed at that. Let's see what we get next time on the wheel. First up is Dragonite, and that keeps coming up on the wheel recently. Wigglytuff, Dragonite, Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff will be a much harder fight. And last up is Staryu. Now, I think we're going to go with Wigglytuff. Let's get out of the way. For all you people looking to see Dragonite, yeah, I'm sorry. That brings us to the end of the video, and of course, please smash that like and subscribe, guys. I really, really appreciate it. You legends. And we'll see you next week for the Wigglytuff run. Take care.